going to pull cards and look at Trumpenstein, the Orange Menace, the Mango Mussolini, the Agent Orange, the Yeti is now absolutely targeting democratic states and democratic cities for ICE to absolutely go in. So how is this going to work for him? Just massively targeting blue states. This guy is just so petty. Petty. But let's look and see what it says. I'm going to use the regular Rider-Waite this time. And I'm going to pull the regular 18 cards and then we'll look at it together, see if we can figure out what it's going to say about him targeting specifically blue states, blue cities, sending ICE out there. This guy is just, he really thinks he's a dictator. Really does. He thinks he's beyond the law. Well, this is my official duty, so I can't be prosecuted, so I'll be as toxic and heinous as I want to be. And what are you going to do about it? It's basically what he's doing. But let's look and see what the Tarot has to say about this. So the first thing out, the reading's about new information, and this could be about also his strong-arming, his wanting to take measures. We have here the authorities, his dark government, thinking that he can do it, strengthening this. Is he strengthened by the authorities in this move? I don't think so. It looks like there will be some tempering. Will he be tempered? Will he be strengthened by authorities when it comes to this new development of information that he's putting out? So, underneath of it all here, the energy coming into it is being out in the cold. Okay? Being outside. That this is a harsh move. Things up in the air. When it comes to this burden that he's doing, a strong burden, the authorities are looking at this up in the air. This harsh truth is maybe being out in the cold and tempering this with investigations. Okay? So, you know, he may think that he's got the wherewithal, because here we go next, what's coming up today. This is according to what he's pushing, what he's selling. Okay? The merchant. What he's selling, what he wants people to buy into. But we have, again, the authorities up in the air. They have evidence. When it comes to this, strengthening the burden, the light is being shed on it, and tempering the investigations into what? His abuses. The abusive thing that he's putting out. And mentally, this is just his abusive nature to go after Democrats, especially people like Newsom that stand up to him. Okay? So the challenge, underneath of it all, what? We have the challenge of the wheel is turning. Karma. Karma is coming in. When it comes to the Republicans, okay, this would be the Republicans, what they're doing, what Magatonians are doing when it comes to this long term. And again, this is slow moving. strengthening the burden, the light on this, and want to slow walk it with what is being shared. Okay? An investigation, tempering this abuse of power in what they are sharing. Now, this could come down to things like Stephen Miller or his border czar, the one that always looks like he just ate the most sour thing on the planet and stepped in a big pile of dog shit. That face, I can't even look at it. So, potential outcome is they want to, again, put their lid on compassion. With this new information, putting people out in the cold because of his desires, but the wheel is turning when it comes to them putting the lid on compassion. So the authorities, with things up in the air, they've got evidence when it comes to the Repugly Uglies, and they do not like what is coming down. They're seeing the reality here versus, again, this cup of drama that he continues to put out. They're going to be looking at a new path forward, an opening based on concrete evidence when it comes to the long term, and they are going to take action. Action will be taken. The external influence is the pain that he is causing and inflicting, mental, emotional. Okay, the authorities are not liking the harvest. Okay, they want to move this to a better place with what's being built and the way he's doing it. Okay, so again, looking at the pain that he's inflicting, don't like the way he's doing it. They want to move this forward to a better place on what's being built, and as it's being built, because this is the information, feeling out in the cold when it comes to his, and his putting the lid on compassion. Just the way that they're doing it is so heinous and dark. And let's see what else we have here. Put these cards way in here because I may do another thing here. So the authorities are not liking what's being presented. They're going to take more action to temper this. The light is in the center of it, the burden of this for the long term. The evidence is in hand about his abuse of power. Things up in the air with what's being shared, and investigating into the Repugly Uglies and his now I think in this sense the Repugly Uglies are his administration and what they're doing. Ones like Stephen Miller and the borders are Mr. Sauer. Okay, so we're looking at the burden, strengthening the light that's coming out, more being revealed as to what's up in the air. Authorities looking at the burden by his abuse of power, and they want to temper this. So the courts are going to step in and temper a lot of this. When it comes to the long-term light on some new concrete things that are going to come in, what's being shared by his administration, and the abuse of power and not liking what's coming down, and due to the long-term effects of this, they have the evidence and they will be taking action. Okay. Now, I think in this, we really don't need the secondary reading of clarification, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway and just see what it has to say when it comes to this topic. But again, I think that the courts are going to see this is a bridge too far and they're going to work on clipping his wings. I just see him as his parrot that's lost all his feathers. This naked bird out there. Now, they do have some naked birds out there that are actually kind of funny, that dance to this music. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. This bird has lost all its feathers, but it out there bebops to the music. I don't see Trumpenstein bebopping out there. I just see him as this naked thing. They're taking all his feathers off, and he's just, out there like this. So let's see. At the center of it all, we have the new cup. Okay? Now, this is, again, his cup of abominations. It's not a cup of peace, overflowing and love. This is his cup of abominations that's overrun. When it comes to his long-term plans, slow-moving as they may be, when it comes to Trump. Okay? The long-term plans of Trump and his overflowing cup of abominations. When it comes to the long term, we see that he's just not a happy person. As evidenced yesterday in his parade when he was sitting looking like the most dejected man on the planet. We have the message coming out. There will be more messages when it comes to Trump from the Justice Department. Okay? So his insanity that he's sitting there touting because he doesn't like what's there. So there will be more messages about actions, concrete messages put out by the courts when it comes to what he's trying to get away with. Okay? He's trying to get away with his cup of abominations and drama, but facing loss with what's being handed out. There will be something new coming out, concrete, with the light being shed, and overturning some of his drama, putting him on hold. The swords of truth are coming out yet again. Every one of his readings, when it comes to his abuse of power, and the courts are going to work to temper it, because we are moving forward to the truth of the divine feminine. Okay? So the more toxic he gets, the more he is securing a noose around his own neck, which is tightening up by the day. Okay? Because when they see that he is just, this is not about securing something. This is about harassing people that he can't get over, such as Newsom, such as any of the blue states that stand for legality. And because they want to stand for legality, he's going to try to go after them. Okay? With his sour border czar and the Jewish Nazi Stephen Miller and those of their ilk that are surrounding him now. And they are on a progression downward. They're on a progression downward. On a progression downward. Yeah. How is this going to work out for Trump? Well, it's moving to where the swords are coming out, the truth about what he's handing out, about what he's trying to do to poor people, etc. So it's continuing to go forward, and he's not going to prevail with what he's doing. Things are coming to a rapid conclusion with things building up More and more truth is coming out as to his toxicity, his insanity, his loss of being a viable leader. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.